Hey guys, welcome to the course Let's Learn Python. My name is Ashar. I have a total work experience of 15 years, primarily working on programming languages like Python, R, and SAS. Out of these three, Python has been my favorite, and there are a number of reasons for that. So we'll come to that later, but first, let's try to understand what is Python. So, what is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear this word Python? For me, the very first thing that came to my mind was this. So, I know that is creepy. It's a python and that is a snake, and it's a big snake. So, let me remove this picture from the screen. That's rather creepy again. Let me remove that from there. And on a very serious note, let's try to understand what is Python. So Python is an object-oriented, interpreted, high-level, general-purpose programming language. Wow. So there are some huge words over there. Object-oriented, interpreted, high-level, general-purpose. So let's try to understand what those terms mean. So when we say object-oriented, basically that is a model in which programs are organized around data or objects. So when we say data or object, everything in Python is an object. And when we talk about object-oriented programming, we create certain classes, we create objects out of them, and then we start using them as and where those are needed. So it is typically different from the structured programming languages like C, where we keep on writing the language as per the need or as per the function or logic that is required over there. So that is different. Object-oriented programs like Java, C++, and Python, they are more modular. We create classes and then we use them. Then what does interpreted means? So there are two ways of running a program. Programs like C, they are first compiled and then executed. So when we say compiled, basically the code is converted into machine language and then it is executed. Python, on the other hand, directly executes. It is not compiled, and there are certain benefits to it which we will understand. The very first thing that is important when it comes to the interpreted languages are they are independent of a particular type of computer, so they can run in almost any kind of computer or anywhere. Pretty much, it is platform independent. And again, those are some of the properties that are also there in most of the object-oriented languages like Java. So why Python? Then the very next question is, when we have so many programming languages, plethora of them, why are we focused only on Python? So again, there are a number of reasons for that. The very first one, it is free. And trust me guys, that is a very important feature. I have been working on SAS a lot, but SAS is not free to use. And that is one of the reasons a lot of companies are shifting from SAS to Python. And I don't want to get into any kind of debate on that, but definitely for me, I love Python because it is free and it is accessible. So it is very easy to learn and understand. When you write Python code, it's pretty much like you're writing a simple English language kind of thing. Because of this, syntax of natural language, it is very easy to understand and accessible. Then the next thing is reliable and efficient. So you can deploy any Python application in any environment with great speed and without any performance loss. So that is again one very good feature. It works across several domains like desktop application. You can create mobile application. You can work on web development. So pretty much anywhere that you want. It is not bound to any single platform or domain, and it offers the same kind of it offers the same experience everywhere. So it runs very fast. It is platform independent. Then the next reason why Python has been very famous lately is because of the amazing libraries that it has. So libraries like NumPy and Pandas are there, which makes working on big projects very easy. So when it comes to NumPy is a fantastic library. when you want to read certain PDF or some other document like Word document or something, and want to convert them into data frames, we use pandas. So those kind of libraries are already there. Then there are also libraries like specific libraries with specific focus. Like if we talk about machine learning, we have scikit-learn. If we talk about deep learning, we have TensorFlow and Keras. So basically, pretty much everything for any use, we have library which we can utilize. And when we talk about big data, there are a lot of libraries that are heavily supported by Python when it comes to big data. So that is again one of the advantages, because big data is a big thing. A lot of data is there on the cloud, and to utilize and to harness that, you can utilize Python. And then definitely two of the very focus areas when it comes to AI is machine learning and deep learning. So machine learning, almost all the libraries that are utilized in machine learning are present. They are baked into the Python libraries like random forest, decision tree, whether it is XGBoost, a lot of other logistic regression, linear regression, everything and every, pretty much any kind of machine learning library is present in Python. And when we talk about deep learning, we take the next step forward, whether it is ANN, whether it is CNN, whether it is RNN, LSTM, sequence to sequence. Python supports all of those. It has library built in for all of these technologies. So, and then one of the big reason is it is backed by a lot of corporates. In fact, in Google, it is the official language. So, supported by Google is something that definitely is a big thing. So that's why Python has been famous lately. Tensor packages like TensorFlow and Keras has been developed in Google itself. And then lastly, but not, and then there are various reasons to that. But one of the reason again is active supportive community. So whether it is, guides or tutorials that you want on a certain topic, there is a lot of active developer community which supports. So if you are stuck on any project and if you have certain question, you can go on websites like Stack Overflow Analytics Vidya, and pretty much you will get the answer instantaneously. So if it is a simple project, whether it is a huge project, a complex one, you will get active community support from the Python developers and the community. So those are the reasons, and then there are a lot of other reasons, I'm sure. But yeah, I think these many reasons are sufficient enough for us to focus on Python. Now, where is Python used? So whether it is, processing certain text, displaying number of images using the inbuilt libraries, you want to solve any scientific questions, you want to save data, you want to do data mining, Python is extensively used, and again there are a lot of packages which are available to serve the purpose. And as I said, when it comes to corporates, it's official language at Google. It's even used by NASA for programming their equipments and space machinery. That's nice, right? And then when it comes to AI, machine and deep learning, nobody can miss Python. The number of libraries that Python supports when it comes to machine and deep learning, majority of implementation that has been done in this area has been on Python. And again, I do not want to get into any debate, but definitely when you think about machine learning and deep learning, you think of Python. So that's where it is used. I think in the recent years, with the advancement of machine learning and deep learning and AI, it has been into a lot of focus. So that's where people have started learning Python. So let's begin, and how we are going to take this course forward. And I assume that most of you who are listening to this lecture are beginners. So we are going to start with installation. So how we are going to install Python on our computer? There are more than one ways to do it. So we'll learn at least two ways how to install Python on your PC or laptop. Then where do you write your code? So do you have a console? Can you write your code in some kind of notebook? So there are a lot of ways where you can write your code when it comes to Python. You can simply write your code in a text pad or a notepad and run that code. There are certain dedicated notebooks that are over there. So Jupyter Notebook is the very common and most frequently used platform where you can write your Python code. And then there are certain IDEs like you can install Anaconda, which will in turn give you facility of installing Spider, and we'll see how we do that. And then you can also install IDEs like Atom. So multiple ways of writing your code on multiple places, and we will see some of them for sure. And then how to run your code. How can you run your code? So if you are writing a code on Notepad, from where to run it, places like Jupyter Notebook, you can just go ahead and write your code and execute it there only, and you will get the results. So we'll go through all of this in the coming lectures. So see you there. Thank you.